Thanks, Ronnie. I just wish I'd got some better shots of the killer.
Are you kidding? That stuff from the hip, very dramatic. You did good, Nico.
So, what's next?
Get me an interview with the owner, and you've got Sunday's front page.
I'm on it already.
Keep me up to speed. Let me know before you write anything up, okay?
Of course. Oh, gotta go. Someone at the door. Monsieur?
Are you Nicole Collard?
Yes, can I help you?
I need to sit down.
You'd better come in.
I don't care who this guy is. You don't just open someone's door like that. But anyway, welcome, I guess.
It was full of paperwork. The door led out to the hallway. I couldn't leave without finding out why the old man needed my help.
Why not?
I loved that camera. It was my computer. The bin was full. The envelope held the photos I took at the robbery. It was a bottle of cheap wine. The old man was out of breath. I'd already chosen the best photo for my article. I didn't need to look at them again. Would you like a glass of wine?
Yes, those stairs are a nightmare. That's better.
So, what can I do for you, monsieur?
My name is Tiago Marquez. I saw your report on the robbery. I found your address. I came straight away. I needed to see you.
And why is that?
The stolen painting, La Malédiction. It belongs to me.
Ronnie had wanted me to interview the owner, and now here he was. Or rather, he was somebody who claimed to be the owner. I had no reason to show Marquez my press card. He already knew who I was. So the stolen painting is yours. Tell me more.
La Malédiction belonged to my family in Catalonia in the 30s, before the Civil War.
So what was it doing here in Paris?
The fascists stole it in 1938. They killed my father, but not me. I escaped. I have been looking for it ever since. You have to help me find it.
Tell me about yourself.
I am Tiago Marquez, the rightful owner of La Malédiction. What else is there to tell?
You traveled all the way from Catalonia?
No, since the war, I've lived in France, in the southwest, and now I want the painting back.
That may be a little difficult right now.
Did you lose all your family in the Civil War?
When they came for us in 38, I fled with my mother, but my father was not so lucky.
I'm sorry.
I would have stayed and fought for freedom, but I was just a boy.
You've got my attention, but if I'm to help you, I need more to go on.
I have something. This old photograph. It is of me and my family. See the painting above the fireplace?
Yes, it's La Malédiction. The photograph suddenly appeared to link the old man to the painting.
You took the photographs at that robbery, huh?
I did, yes.
I need to see them.
Why?
Please, I must see them.
All right. Here they are. This one was rejected. George got in the way. Typical.
Who is this George?
Just a friend. He insured the painting.
So, he will know who is this liar who claims to own my painting.
I don't think he does. He would have told me. This is the best shot I took. They used it in the paper.
Yes, it is how I recognize La Malédiction, my painting.
It does look like the one in your photograph.
So close, but now it is lost again.
Headhunters. This thief must be an amateur. Surely he knows to cover up any kind of markings and tattoos. You know, anything that would make him recognizable.
Here's the thief making off with the painting.
What is that tattoo on his arm?
Looks like a skull and crossbones. Headhunters,
You will find him, and then you will find my painting.
I can try, monsieur.
You must, mademoiselle.
Is that someone with a wolf's head? It certainly looks like it.
This shot didn't come out too well.
It's perfect.
Perfect?
Finally, La Malédiction in all its splendor. The lines, the color, the detail. It's been so long since I've seen it.
Then take it. That shot is no good to me.
Really? Thank you, mademoiselle.
Marquez's story was very interesting, but I needed to corroborate it. I wondered if the gallery kept ownership records. And while I didn't wholly trust him, this was the one lead that I didn't want to lose. Where are you staying?
What? Nowhere. Here, perhaps.
I didn't want him to stay in my apartment. There was another solution. My neighbor is out of town for a few days. You could stay there.
Yes, that would be good. Thank you.
Great, let's go. Adam said that he would leave the spare key under the mat.
It's awfully bold of this guy just to barge into someone's home and then assume that he's going to stay there.
My door. One day I was going to paint it. Marquez needed somewhere to stay. I wasn't going to let him stay at my place. The stairs led down to the street. I didn't want to leave before I'd settled Marquez into the apartment next door. Marquez wasn't exactly patient. I hope you don't mind waiting. I'm sure the key is around here somewhere.
This is why I hate cities. No trust anymore.
It was the fire escape. I had no reason to open the fire exit. There was no fire. My neighbor had gone to a coin convention somewhere. His apartment was empty. The door was locked, but my neighbor always left a key under the mat. It was just a doormat. My neighbor had left a key for me under the doormat. Which reminded me I hadn't watered his plants for a week. The key wasn't there. There was a large gap between the floorboards. The gap was wide, but not wide enough for my fingers.
How about a press card with chewing gum?
Using the sticky chewing gum, I was able to fish out the key.
Why do we still have this gum?
This will do.
Glad it's up to standard. I have to go out, monsieur. Ronnie had promised me the front page if I got an interview with the painting's owner. And here was a crazy Spaniard claiming to be just that. I needed to find out who had put the painting up for sale. Maybe there was more to find at the gallery. Len was sitting outside the cafe. He looked dazed.
All partings foreshadow the great final one.
The waiter was still contemplating the universe. Hi.
So it is you, madame. There is no coffee. It bores me now. There is cola, or beer, or champagne.
No thanks, I'll pass.
That is your choice, and you have exercised it.
What's gotten into him? Suddenly he seems quite upbeat.
It was Hector Lane, art critic extraordinaire. Hello, Monsieur Lane.
Ah, the delectable Nicole Collard, super sleuth. How may I be of service?
I was hoping I'd find you here.
Always available for a lovely lady such as yourself.
I managed to get chewing gum stuck on my press card.
What a bizarre turn of events.
That's what I thought. Henri's death, it must be so very hard for you.
Yes, I shall miss him deeply. We had such a very special relationship. The loss is so hard to endure, even for a man of such inner strength as myself.
What do you know about the owner of La Malédiction?
That was Henri's business. He found the painting and did the deal with the owner.
Would anybody else know anything about the owner?
Not likely. He kept especially quiet about that one. But he always kept a manifest for every exhibition.
I'm writing a follow-up piece on the gallery theft.
Ah, so you need an inside view. Authoritative.
Something like that.
The police have finished in the gallery. We could chat in the office. It's much more comfortable. More intimate. I might even be able to rustle up a little bottle of champagne.
Maybe later. I have some things to do first.
Maybe next time, then.
You mentioned a manifest. How would one get a look at that?
One might start in the office. That's where Henri kept most of his paperwork.
Good luck, Nico.
About the gallery.
Of course, my dear. We can go there now, if you would like.
I apologize in advance.
That sounds great.
We can discuss my ordeal over a glass of champagne.
A cozy chat with Lane was the last thing I wanted. But it was my best hope if I wanted to get a look around the office. So, what are we waiting for?
What was he laughing at?
After you, my dear.
The place was heaving with junk. Finding what I wanted wouldn't be easy. As Lane sat down, something stuck out from beneath the cushion. It looked like a folder. Whatever it was, the police had missed it. I needed to get it.
Come, join me on the couch. I'm ready for you. You will be gentle with me, won't you?
Oh, I'm never gentle, Monsieur Lane.
Oh. Oh. Do call me Hector.
I'm not ready for this.
I couldn't leave, not without finding more information on the painting. The door led back to the gallery. Henri had framed some pressed flowers. He had truly terrible taste. I guessed it was Henri's guitar. It had to be for show. It was an old...
Come, sit down.
The gallery looked empty. It was a decorative pipe. There was nothing in Henri's pile of junk that looked anything like a manifest. It was a poster for a Stockholm music festival. The headline was a group called the Hairy Lobsters. There was nothing special about the clock. I'd always dreamed about owning a VW van. With what I earned, I'd never own one of those. The calendar was marked with the date of the exhibition. Henri's notice board was covered in mementos. The lamp was still on. It looked tacky. It was an old phone. The desk was covered in junk. I couldn't have worked in such a place. I couldn't search the desk while Lane was there. At least Henri had the sense to keep his statue to himself. Henri had a statue of himself in the style of a Roman emperor. It was narcissistic and slightly disturbing. There was a small hinged fig leaf on the statue. Tasteless, yet strangely intriguing. I wasn't going to play fig leaves with Lane watching. Not to my taste. I thought Georges might like that one. A wonderfully painted nude. The signature read, Tanya R. I could see the street. Lane had slumped deep into the sofa. Lane had clearly beaten this sofa into submission.
Alright, let's get this over with.
Come on back.
Lane hadn't noticed the folder. With that amount of padding, who would? The only way to get hold of it was to distract him. It was a plain folder. There was a label on the front, but I couldn't quite make it out. If I tried to reach across, I'd touch Lane's leg. Ooh.
Or worse.
Lane was taking up more than his fair share of the sofa. Monsieur Lane?
Hector, please.
Did I show you my press card?
The sticky one. Maybe you should order a replacement.
So you really don't know who owns this up?
I'm sorry, my dear, I really don't.
I see Henri had a statue of himself.
Yes, for a man of high aspiration, he had alarmingly low taste. Nevertheless, I shall miss him. We were like family.
What will happen to this place now?
Henri's widow will decide, poor soul. She may find it in her heart to keep me around.
Oh, I'm sure she will. Is there anything you can tell me about the painting?
It was an absolute treat to come across it. A true undiscovered gem.
There's no denying it is a fantastic painting. What can you tell me about the religious significance?
Of course, there's a deep religious symbolism locked within the painting, too. Central to this must be the pantheon of saints.
Oh, Hector. Perhaps I will join you in that glass of champagne.
But of course, champagne, nature's balm in troubled times.
Oh, yes.
It was a glass of cheap champagne.
Here we go. Cheers.
To new friends!
To love. Oh, mon Dieu, that is so cold!
Oops, silly me. I am so sorry.
I'll have to dry this off. Don't you worry, my dear.
In the folder was a list of all the paintings in the exhibition. La Malediccio had to be there. It was. And next to it was the owner's name, Mr. Medovsky. The police had obviously not spotted the folder. I put it back. I had what I needed for my story. Monsieur Lane, thanks for everything. But I think I hear my editor calling.
Ma chérie, no need to leave so soon. It's only a little spillage.
And I found out who claims to own La Malediccio. Some guy named Medovsky. Sounds Russian, right?
Medovsky, my God.
Who is he?
He's new on the oligarch block. Fresh into London from Russia, with ambition and a bloody reputation. Collard, this is way over your head. I'm gonna put a more experienced crime journalist on the story. I can't afford for you to get hurt.
Relax, Ronnie. This is my story. Leave it with me. Let's discuss it over lunch tomorrow.
Okay. But don't do anything more. See you tomorrow.
Ronnie didn't trust me on this story, but I wasn't going to let him give it to someone else. I was going to have to move fast. Come in. Hi, Georges. Great to see you.
Hope you don't mind me just dropping in.
No, not at all. How are you getting on?
Pretty good. I found the gun that was used in the robbery.
I'm impressed.
Yeah? Well, Nave wasn't. He accused me of trying to plant it, and then of being involved in Henri's death. Then he threw me into a cell. He couldn't make a stick, of course, so he had to let me go this morning. But he's convinced I'm involved. So if I put a foot wrong, he'll nail me next time. But, hey, on the bright side, have I got a story for you. Annette, the manager at Vera Security, lied about the owner of the company. When I pieced together that shredded letter, I got a name, Medovsky.
Medovsky! That's the same guy who claims to own La Malediccio.
What? He owns the painting and Vera Security? He has to be the one behind this whole scam.
You're telling me? We have to be sure.
What the?
I cannot sleep on that bed. It is too soft.
Georges, this is Senor Marquez.
Nice to meet you.
So you are this George, huh?
Senor Marquez is staying in the apartment across the hall. Apparently, he's the real owner of La Malediccio.
What? I thought you said Medovsky was the owner.
Senor Marquez claims the painting was stolen from his family during the Spanish Civil War.
Really? Do you have any proof?
Senor Marquez, could you show him the photograph?
A pair of statues stood on plinths on the mantelpiece. That's definitely La Malediccio hanging on the wall?
It belonged to my family, so it belongs to me.
Who's this?
My father. When they came for us in 38, I fled with my mother. But my father was not so lucky.
You lost your father?
Yes, he died when the fascists attacked our villa.
Marquez's father wore a distinctive medallion around his neck. Who's this?
My mother, a good woman, a saint.
So your mother also died in the raid?
No, she got me out.
It was Marquez's mother.
I was sure that I could get a description of the fireplace, but that does not seem to be happening right now.
How can we prove this is you as a child?
The dates would tie up, George.
If the painting really was stolen during the 1930s, then this Medovsky guy has no legitimate claim to it. But how can I be sure that you're the boy in that picture?
I can prove it. Look at my father in the photograph. You see the medallion he's wearing? He gave it to me just before he died. This medallion has been in our family for hundreds of years.
This must be worth a fortune.
It's definitely the same medallion. A snake eating its own tail. That's also on the painting.
It is the Ouroboros.
The what?
The Ouroboros. It is a sign of my people, my family, my faith. The Gnostics. My father was a Gnostic leader. La Malediccio is sacred to the Gnostics. Hence they both display the Ouroboros.
A priest I met said the painting was the devil's work. A thing of evil.
Ha! He would say that. Do not believe all you hear from the church. Whatever you think, the painting is mine.
If Marquez was the true owner of Malediccio, then Medovsky had no legal claim to it. Might be tough to prove, but if I could, we wouldn't have to pay out on the insurance. So, if the painting belongs to you, how did Medovsky get it?
The fascists stole it. It went to Madrid, then Berlin, then, after the war, to Moscow. After that it was lost, until now.
We need to talk to this Medovsky, but how do we find him? Senor Marquez.
Yes, George?
What do you think of this?
I would not use it to clean my shoes, monsieur.
Well, to be honest, neither would I. You want a cookie, Senor Marquez?
No, it has been in your pocket and is falling to pieces.
Hey, Senor Marquez, meet Trevor.
He is a cockroach in a box.
He's my new pet. I'm getting rather attached to him. I found this paperclip. It's gotta be useful for something.
I imagine if you have any paper you need clipped.
I found some evidence that ties Henri to the dodgy security company.
That doesn't surprise me. It sounds as though the whole thing was set up.
So, La Malediccio belongs to your family?
It did. Once it was stolen, I did not believe I would ever see it again.
You must have been excited to see the painting again.
It was a miracle.
You mentioned the Gnostics. What can you tell me about them?
It is not important. A religious sect, that is all. My family were Gnostic. They were a peaceful, good people.
It looked like Nico kept her most secret possessions close to her chest. The door led out to the hallway. I wasn't going to leave until I'd figured out where I needed to go next. Marquez had let himself into Nico's apartment. Nico's camera was pretty old. I wished she could afford a new one. Nico had finally upgraded her computer. Nico's trash can was full of paper. No surprise there. Nico looked excited. The gallery story could be the break that she craved. Hey, Nico?
Yes, George?
I'm pretty surprised this cookie's held up so well in my pocket.
Gotta work on the small talk, George.
Hey, Nico, have I introduced you to Trevor?
Oh, get that horrible thing away.
This paperclip is bound to come in useful. I just know it.
Well, you've surprised me before, George. I'd keep it.
Here's the proof that Henri was involved in the robbery.
Interesting, but it doesn't help us find the killer.
What do we know about this Medovsky character?
Ronnie said he was dangerous and very rich. He claims to be the owner of La Malediccio.
And appears to be the boss of Vera's security who were supposed to protect it. Now that kind of figures. The best way to steal something is to get hired to look after it. But why steal a painting you already own?
We need to talk to this guy.
To do that, we need to find him. So let's go over what we know about the thief.
Okay, well, he had a distinctive tattoo on one arm.
And his helmet had Waterloo Motors across it.
Not a lot to go on.
Why would somebody steal their own painting?
Insurance scam? But then why kill Henri?
I get the impression that Henri was somehow involved. I found the gun that Henri was shot with at Vera's security.
If Madosky owns Vera Security, it means that he must know the killer.
Well, it can't be Annette, but she has to be involved in some way. You said the thief had a tattoo.
On his arm, it was a skull and crossbones with headhunters written around it.
We need to track down Waterloo Motors.
Have you tried the internet?
I've been kind of busy.
Okay, let's have a look. Waterloo Station, Battle of Waterloo, Waterloo Kebabs, Waterloo Sunset. Ah, here we go. Waterloo Motors. It's a garage in London. I'll send the number to your phone.
Alright, let's give them a call.
Waterloo Motors.
Hi,
How can I help you?
my name is George Stobart. I'm investigating a murder that was committed here in Paris.
What's that got to do with us?
The guy we're looking for was wearing a helmet with Waterloo Motors on it.
Oh, yeah. It's a very popular helmet.
I don't suppose you know who might have bought one?
Well, not unless you've got any more information, mate.
The killer had a tattoo on his arm. It said, Headhunters.
Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, he bought one of our helmets just the other day.
Terrific. Do you know his name?
Nah. He brings his boss's Merc here to have it serviced. Word to the wise, though. I hear he don't mess about. The car's registered on Dutchy Street, if it's any help. I mean, that's all I know, mate, sorry.
No, that's more than enough. You've been a great help. Thanks for your time.
See ya.
Bingo!
Good work. That has to be the guy. And now we've got his address.
How about a trip to London?
I thought you'd never ask. Senor Marquez, will you be okay here?
The bed is uncomfortable. But it will do. Come back quickly with the painting, eh?